No mai, haere mai, welcome into session number 3 of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships, live from the Hawke's Bay Regional Aquatic Centre. Here joining me is Stephen Kent, 2012 Olympian. Steve, it's been fun so far. One day down into day 2. Some really exciting performances yesterday in day 1 with Eve Thomas with that spectacular performance starting so strongly and managing to hold on.
Yeah, that was her plan. Go out hard, have a crack at that time, no fear. And she said it hurt a little bit, but that's a really good progression towards Paris 24.
It is, and the third qualification standard for her. She did a great job. Josh Wilmer in that 100 metres breaststroke really delivered a much better performance in that final with a 1:13.
Yeah, it was good to see him step up, heats the final, really put the pressure on himself, and it was good to see him pull through that and go for a best time there. So well done, Josh.
Jesse Reynolds, 100 metres backstroke, his main event, one of the main events, and delivering a strong 1:05 low this time, and just reconfirming where he's at from a performance point of view.
Yeah, I think the key parts, as any swimmer wants to do, you want to swim faster in the finals, and that's what these boys are doing already, so good to see that progression happening.
Brendan Visser winning the freestyle, the 800 metres freestyle in the Junior Pan Pacific qualifying time. A nice little bonus for him to get that tucked away.
Yeah, it was really good to see his race plan come through. Obviously strong in that first 400, but then he really backed himself in that second half of the race and came away with that time. So good to get that on day 1.
And a great way to finish with the 4x100 metre freestyle relay with that New Zealand record in the men's event, breaking the record from the Beijing team in 2008. It lifted the roof here. It was great.
Yeah, well, it was really good to see. Obviously a big target for those boys as a club team to go out and get that time of a great team in 2008. So really impressive swim, and good to see even Lewis Clarebird in there in the freestyle as well.
And then we move to today's program, a very packed program, starting with the men's 100 metres backstroke, where we've got 3 top swimmers across 3 heats, with Andrew Jeffcoat in the final heat. He'll be looking to, I'm sure, push it, along with Zach Dell and Kane follows.
Yeah, I think Jeffcoat knows what he needs to work on from Doha, so they'll be coming here really targeting this race and want to put that performance together this morning and then again tonight.
Equally in the women's 100 metres backstroke, 3 heats with Emma Godwin, Letitia Lee Transom and Helena Gasson across those 3 heats. Probably going to give it everything this morning to see how close they can get to that pretty competitive qualifying standard. The 50 butterfly, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist and New Zealand record holder Cam Gray in there, and then in the women's event, Steve, Hazel Hourhand, who just a month ago broke the New Zealand record in this event.
Yeah, well, it'll be good to see in those butterfly events, they might be setting up for their 100 fly for potential qualification as well. So good way to start the meet for our butterfly swimmers.
Absolutely. We then follow with the 100 butterfly for the multi-classification. Lily Fox-Mason's main event. She's 8th in the world in this event, and she had a bit of a warm-up yesterday with that backstroke.
Yeah, it was good to see her get out there, you know, like they say, dust off the old cobwebs, but she'll be pretty focused on getting those and backing up those boys from yesterday and getting that time.
She will. The 200 freestyle, one of the most competitive events in this program. Really looking forward to seeing this with a number of swimmers. Matt Hutchins, 2:16 Olympian in there. We've got Zach Reed, Lewis Clarebird, Carter Swift coming up to the 200 metre distance. So it's the heats, of course, but I'm sure we'll see a few pushing it.
Yeah, it'll be good to see once again these boys coming together. A few different strategies, not some of their main races. So good to see an actual race and just go for that national title.
Josh Gilbert in the 100 metres breaststroke, his first hit out, and Zalika, Monique Wierzowski, Brianna Crawford coming together in the women's event. And then we finish off with the big one, the 200 freestyle for the women, where we've got second in the world, Erica Fairweather in the event, plus a number of competitors in there trying to vie for that spot for the Olympic relay team.
Yeah, knowing that 4x2 female relay has qualified for Paris, it's a bit of a dogfight, I would like to say, in terms of you're in that sort of top 3, top 4 position. You could be booking that ticket to Paris.
Well, we better get on with it. Let's get underway with session number 3 here at the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres. and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Wonderful to have our technical officials, volunteers that enjoy coming to officiate these events, an incredibly important part of these championships this week and next. I'd like to introduce our starters for this morning's session for the men's events. Nick Short, starter for the women's events. Ross Gillespie. Referees for the men's events, Leslie Huckins. For the women's events, Greg Forsyth. Technical director for these championships is Carlreen Gillespie. Thank you, officials. You can be seated. The first event on the program this morning is Event 7, the men's 100-metre backstroke heats. There are 3 heats, and coming out in front of the blocks is heat number 1.
Lane 2, Tieva Gian, Tahiti. Lane 3, Daniel Williams, Swim Zone Racing. Lane 4, Kane Follows, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 5, Alex Esposito, Ngātai Tuatia, Atararika Swimming. Lane 6, Ariel Machahondo, Swim Rotorua. Lane 7, Vincent Down Honey, Club 37.
Kane Follows going through first, 26.51. He's still got the beard on his face. You wonder whether that's any indication of whether he's got more to come tonight. But that qualifying standard of 53.74, an entry time of 54.21, well out in front with 20 metres to swim. Kane Follows leading out heat number 1 here of the 100 backstroke. And a 55.04 to kick us off this morning. His specialty, of course, the 200 metres backstroke.
Nice swim there by Kane there, Scotty.
Yeah, just 0.8 of a second outside of his lifetime best. And will most certainly secure himself a position in this final this evening.
Lane 2, Liam Rees, Alexandra Swimming Club. Lane 3, Kiha Desbordes, Tahiti. Lane 4, Zach Dell, Club 37. Lane 5, Samuel Poaching, North Shore Swimming. Lane 6, Callum Lockhart, Viking Swim Club. Lane 7, Lucas Percival, Central Hawke's Bay Swimming.
And Zach Dell, an entry time of 53.19. He's been pushed along by the visitor, Kiha Desbordes. And a good solid hit out here. Looks like Zach Dell is giving it everything this morning. Really starting to increase the lead now through the final 25. Zach Dell, can he get close to this 53.74 qualifying standard? Into the wall he goes. 54.28. The fastest of the qualifiers so far, and just half a second outside of that qualifying standard.
28.2 on the way home there, Scotty. He'll be looking to make a little improvement and try and dip under that 28-second mark on the second 50 tonight. Lane 1, Alex Tudgy, Swim to Maru. Lane 2, Kokoro Frost, Otaki Titans Swimming Club. Lane 3, Jasper Cornish, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 4, Andrew Jeffcoat, Club 37. Lane 5, Finn Harland, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 6, John Quirk, North Shore Swimming. Lane 7, Max Gardner, Whanganui Swim Club.
26.06 through the 50-metre mark for Andrew Jeffcoat. Currently ranked 19th in the world with his best performance at the Fukuoka World Champs, coming 12th in this event. Andrew Jeffcoat, can he get underneath that qualifying standard this morning? He's done it 3 times since last March, but not when it counted. Can he do it today? And a great swim here by Finn Harland as well in lane 5. 54.43. And this could be a huge PB for Finn Harland at 54.74, and Jasper Cornish also with a 56.80. We're just checking out that 18-year-old and 17-year-old New Zealand records. But solid hit-outs this morning for the backstrokers across the 3 heats. Just outside of that 18-year-old New Zealand record held by Daniel Bell, but not far off. Fantastic performance for Finn Harland. We move now to event 8, the women's 100 metres backstroke. There are 3 heats, and this is heat number 1.
Lane 1, Brooke Spears, Greendale Swim Club. Lane 2, Charlie Twos, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 3, Gina McCarthy, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 4, Emma Goodwin, Hiratonga Sun Devils. Lane 5, Amber George, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 6, Savannah Eve Martin, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 7, Zoe Enor, Hiratonga Sun Devils.
The qualifying mark set at 59.99. The fastest in the seat, Emma Godwin, 101.34. The 27-year-old from Hiratonga Sun Devils, her home pool, her home environment. And her targeted event, the 200 metres backstroke, got a nice hit out for her this morning. Gina McCarthy, who we missed in the 400 IM, now concentrating on the backstroke by the looks of it. And Amber George in 5, the talented backstroke from Coast. And let's see where the results will fall for heat number 1. A 101.87, a good swim, heat swim here for Emma Godwin.
Lane 1, Emma Wallace, Pukekohe Swim Club. Lane 2, Brisbane Bulthuizen, Hiratonga Sun Devils. Lane 3, Gabrielle Farmasili, Club 37. Lane 4, Letitia Lee Transon, Club 37. Lane 5, Isabel Gibson, Club 37. Lane 6, Zalika Pratt-Smith, Coast Swim Club. Lane 7, Charlotte Cole, Hiratonga Sun Devils.
Letitia Lee Transom, who had a fantastic performance last month at the Queensland Championships, getting her PB of 1 minute .86, and she swims for the Brisbane Grammar Swim Club over there. And based, Steve, on her performances in the opening of that relay last night, she is in great form. And also, this is Gabby Farmasili in lane 3, trying to hold on.
Really good turn there by Letitia off that 50-metre mark. Good underwater. Set her up for the second 50.
Let's see where it lands. 59.99. Pretty similar to her entry time. 1 minute .90. And Zalika Pratt-Smith and Gabby Farmasili getting entry times faster. Or heat times faster than the entry time there. Next up, the final heat of the women's 100-metre backstroke, heat 3.
Lane 1, Maya Adams, Raumati Swimming Club. Lane 2, Pippa Mihaka, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 3, Milan Glintmeyer, Coast Swim Club. Lane 4, Helena Gasson, Coast Swim Club. Lane 5, Liv Peebles, North Shore Swimming. Lane 6, Jessie Walsh, Club 37. Lane 7, Holly Stanford, Greendale Swim Club. Lane 8, Harriet Park, Kiratonga Sun Devils.
The New Zealand record held in this event, 1 minute .22 by Emily Thomas back 15 years ago. But Helena Gasson, who's the fastest heat time of 59.38, the first outing for Helena Gasson from Coast, the Rio Olympian. And well out in front here, a body length clear for Helena Gasson. How fast can she go through the heats this morning? And she will qualify first for the final tonight, just over the minute, .3 outside that Olympic qualifying standard.
Really strong swim there this morning by Helena, really setting herself up for a really awesome final tonight with Letitia as well and Emma. So it's going to be exciting tonight, Scotty.
Yeah, that's going to give her some confidence for sure. Always the first swim a little bit nerve-wracking. And let's have a look at the result of heat number 3. It was Glintmeyer and Welsh second and third to the wall. We'll be back after this break for the men's 50 metres butterfly. Welcome back to session 3, the heat session of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Champs. We move now to event number 9, the men's 50 metres butterfly. There are 4 heats, and this is heat number 1. Apologies for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to just head to a quick commercial break as we sort out a quick technical issue. We'll be back with you very shortly.
We know a country where the food is bountiful and the wine is beautiful. Where the skies are big because the horizons are wide, so the warm, gentle landscape stretches out forever. A country where the food offering spans from pick your own to picking it up from a roadside stall or a farmer's market, to taking your pick from restaurant menus that are as good as anywhere in the world. And so is the wine. This is a country that will refresh you and recharge you and just make you feel a whole lot better about things. This country is food and wine country, but you might know it as Hawke's Bay.
Welcome back. We're just about to begin event number 9, the men's 50 metres butterfly. There are 4 heats and heat number 1 is ready to go. Okay, swimmers, just relax for the time being as the team try and resolve a couple of technical issues before we get underway. Steve, as we reflect back on the heats we've seen this morning, the men's and women's 100-metre backstroke, going to be some really exciting matchups this evening in those finals, isn't there?
Yeah, I think that the men's and the women's there were both pretty exciting. There seems to be quite a lot of intensity around that male in that 54 zone, so that'll be a good battle to see if anyone can tip down into that 53 time. And then again in the females there, Helena and Letitia in that 1 minute zone, so can they sneak down that New Zealand record in the female, 1:22, Emily Thomas. So that'll be a good one for them to achieve tonight as well.
Yeah, some real depth in the backstroke events. Nice to see we're actually padding out to 3 heats as well. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice to see a New Zealand record which has been held for 14 years in the women's event, and there's a very good chance they'll get under. It's a 59.99 for that qualifying standard, and so we're just going to have to see someone pull something a little bit more out of the bag tonight in that women's 100-metre backstroke and in the men's. I think there was an encouraging swim there from Kane Follows. Of course, the 200 backstroke is his specialty, but he'll be wanting to see where he's sitting with that speed over that first 100.
Yeah, exactly. Some people have their target races and are more favoured to a little bit of more distance, so it'll be a good setup for him just to see where he's at.
Now let's look ahead to this 50 butterfly about to get underway. We've got 4 heats. We've got the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist and New Zealand record holder Cameron Gray in this event. He'll be wanting to recapture that form from that win at 23.27, but also Christopher Elson there from Vikings, who's showed some real promise in the last sort of 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, it'd be good to see. Obviously, I think Cam's strength in the flyers obviously is underwater in his start, so it'd be good to make sure he's nailing that towards his major events in terms of the 100 free potentially, and if he's doing the 100 fly as well later in the week. Just back to the backstroke there, Scotty, we had 2 qualifiers for JPP this morning. So Jasper Cornish in the last heat of the backstroke there went under that qualifying time to go to Canberra, and Milan Glidmeyer in her heat of the 100 backstroke. So great to have already 3 team members into that junior Pan Pac team.
Yeah, you do forget we've got some very talented age groupers here swimming at the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swim Champs and the JPP, for those that don't know, the Junior Pan Pacific Games, which is a fantastic stepping stone for the younger swimmers, 18 and under, to really further their career on an international scale. And then that women's 50 metres butterfly, Hazel Hourhand in the second heat of 2 heats. She did that 26.01. And perhaps if she brings that form from a month ago, could see the first ever woman go under 26 seconds for the 50 butterfly, which would be quite a feat.
Yeah, there's always those little targets to aim for in terms of the time rankings. You know, when your first time you go under a minute for a 100 freestyle or whatever, but to be that first woman in New Zealand to break the 26 mark will be a really awesome achievement for Hazel. So really looking forward to seeing her form and then how she sets herself up for that 100 butterfly later in the week for a qualification standard.
And in that first heat, Laura Quilter, it's been a joy to see her come back at 31 years of age. She swims and trains on her own, does all her own training, and she also runs a swim coaching business as well. She's an example of someone that has matured and managed to take all that experience of her former career in swimming, or former time she was swimming when she was younger, to really bring the best of it to her sprint events.
Yeah, don't forget she's a full-time nurse as well, Scott. So when you've got all that, you need to be really focused and targeted on and having a really clear goal in mind. And I think from memory, her goal was to be the fastest she's ever been in the 50 freestyle as she outset. She's already achieved that. So now it's about how far she can go at those championships and finish on a high note. So it's great to see Laura back. And it sounds like that start is working.
Yeah, we're just trying to work on, for those watching at home, apologies for the delay here, just a bit of a technical issue as we try and get that sorted. We're just discussing some of the interesting races that are happening this morning. But I think from what we've heard, we are good to go. And so we resume with Heat 1 of the men's 50 metres butterfly.
Lane 3, Carwin Lee. Lane 4, Lucas Percival. Lane 5, Curtis Melsock. One, Orlando Hardy. 2, Cale Twist. 3, Hugo Rathel. 4, Jack Hendy. 5, Caleb Carlisle. 6, Iko Shibuya. 7, Ollie Lutton.
The first of the seeded heats, Jack Hendy here from Club 37. This is not an Olympic qualifying event, but looking for a national title across this event this evening, and a 24.36, a 0.1 improvement from the heat time, and looks like Jack Hendy, just with that reaction, is pretty happy with that. A 0.1 of a second over 50 metres is a great improvement.
Yeah, these boys will be pushing each other tonight. Obviously, always in the sprint races, there's a little bit of big shoulder, big chest stuff going on, Scotty, so they'll be looking for that gold medal tonight.
25-year-old Christopher Ilson in lane 4, 23.77. Butterfly, his main stroke, and the 100 metre, the one he's targeting at these champs. But let's see how the speed goes over the 50 metres for Chris Ilson. He leads down with Fergus Eadie, the 23-year-old from Coast, on his shoulder. Ilson gets there, 24.26, almost identical time to Jack Hendy in the previous heat, or just a little bit, 1.1 faster. So at the moment, Ilson sits in the second position for the final this evening. Sorry, Christopher is in the first position with Hendy sitting in second. The New Zealand record holder in lane 4, Cameron Gray from Coast Swimming Club, and an entry time of 23.57. Let's see what sort of form Cam Gray is in as he kick-starts one of his main events.
Really good control, no breathing here on this final 25 for Cam.
Beautiful finish there too. You can see that, Steve, 23.69. And just timed that finish absolutely beautifully on a full stroke. He comes in, and as you said, no breathing, just keeping it fluid all the way down that 50. That was a great heat swim for Cameron Gray, 23.6. And just outside of that entry time, a 0.3 slower than his Commonwealth Games bronze medal time.
Ben Littlejohn into second place for that final tonight there, Scotty, as well. So he into that 24.0, so almost into that 23 mark for him. So that'll be a really good race for those medals tonight.
That concludes event 9, the men's 50 butterfly. We move now to the women's. Event number 10, there are 2 heats, and getting ready to go is heat number 1. Laura Quilter, the 31-year-old in lane 4, and then you've got Milan Glintmeyer, the 15-year-old in lane 3. Quilter with a time just under a second faster than anyone else in this heat, with a seed time of 26.74. Let's see what sort of form she's in. A nice swim here in lane 6. This is Amy Crosby. Amy Crosby will get to the wall second. A 26.89, just 0.1 outside lifetime best for Laura Quilter.
She had a nice, really smooth stroke there, keeping those hips nice and high, Scotty, as you can see. Maybe just missed on that finish just a tad, but she'll be working on that for tonight.
Yeah, it looks like she could have actually done the full stroke into the finish there, but she opted for a slightly shorter stroke. She can come and talk to me later about that if she wants. And we'll move now to heat number 2. New Zealand record holder Hazel Hourhand, the 24-year-old in lane 4 from Phoenix, 26.01, blistering form last month at the Auckland Swimming Championships. She also went under the qualifying standard, but obviously didn't count in the 100, so she's in great form. Also no breathing. Coming into the finish, she's got Zoe Pedersen on her outside. Let's see how she goes. 25.88. Wow. A New Zealand record, first woman to ever go under 26 seconds for the 50 metres butterfly. This is history, ladies and gentlemen. What a swim from Hazel Hourhand, and a smile to go with it as well.
What a swim there, Scotty. Yeah. What a swim. Just kept her hips really high, as you can see on this video, and that touch.
Beautiful touch.
Into the wall.
And we're going to catch a word with Hazel Hourhand about that performance. We'll get her to come over and see us. Yes, Hazel, come over this way or jump out that side. And this is exciting. We've seen Hazel really improve over the last 12 months. She had a bit of a rough time in the last couple of years, but boy, oh boy, has she turned that around. History-making swim there. Congratulations, Hazel. Big smile on your face. Wow, what a performance. Under 26 for the first time. Talk us through how you feel.
Oh, it's great to finally get that one on the books, and I knew I was going to do it this morning. We were thinking 25.9 this morning, but I'll take the 8.
That is unbelievable. And just a beautifully timed finish as well. Right from the very start to the very end, you executed that absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, we've been working on, especially since the Auckland Champs, three weeks ago, on not breathing. So didn't breathe on that one, and I can kind of tell where I am about 5-10 metres to go, and if I need to adjust my strokes to get that good clean finish.
Obviously the Auckland Champs a month ago, those amazing performances. Was it after that Champs, what was going through your training regime in that month between to try and hold on to that form?
You mean since then?
Since then.
Well, not a lot has changed, because obviously what we were doing was working, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I was definitely surprised with the swims I did a month ago. It was more than I expected, and a good mental gain. But, doesn't mean anything. I still have to do it tomorrow.
That's right. It sets you up really well for that. I guess I'm interested to hear, this rise and this improvement you've had. What do you put that down to? Is there a couple of things you've done mentally, physically?
Mentally, definitely. Physically, I've been working with a new gym coach for the last year, and I feel like that's made a great difference for me. Shout out to Sean. And I think David and I as well, our relationship and communication with one another has definitely improved, and that's made some good differences too.
Well, obviously, as you touched on, the 50-metre butterfly, not an Olympic event. The 100-metre butterfly is where it's at, so wish you well for that.
Thank you.
Resuming now to 107, the 100 metres butterfly for men, multi-classification.
Lane 3, Denver Xavier, Club 37. Lane 4, Asher Smith Franklin, North Shore Swimming Club. Lane 5, David Beck, Club 37. Lane 6, Joel Watkins, Pukekohe Swimming Club.
Asher Smith-Franklin, the 18-year-old, in record-breaking form, as we often see him. He's impressive. He just continues to get faster as he grows, develops. And Joel Watkins there in 6, who got a silver in that 100-metre backstroke yesterday, just behind Jesse Reynolds. David Beck is firing at 27 years of age, thoroughly enjoys his swimming. And let's look at the New Zealand record here, Steve. Just checking that one. Might be the 1 minute .24 he's got on the program.
Just outside that time there, Scott. But a really good swim this morning by Asher Smith there. Very solid.
And let's have a look at the times for these lads just outside of the entry time. But Joel Watkins, he's always improving. 1:12.46, which will put him in a good position for this evening's final. Moving now to event 108, the 100 metres butterfly for women, multi-classification.
Lane 4, Lily Fox Mason, Wharenui Swimming Club. Lane 5, Chloe Gladwin, Whakatane Swimming Club.
Lily Fox Mason, her favourite event here, an entry time of 1:12.61 with that Paralympic qualifying standard set at 1:13.42. So that's the time she will be aiming for. And just a little bit of information about Lily Fox as she makes her way down the 50-metre mark, 34.12. She's Aqua Black 273, and she has been ranked 8th in the world at the World Swimming Champs, both in 22 and 23, even though she was injured last year at the World Para Swimming Championships. She debuted on the international stage in 2022 in Portugal, and coached by Matt Houston and Carl Gordon in Canterbury.
Looks like she's trying to break this time again this morning here. Scott's a really strong first 50. Coming into the wall, 1:13.67.
Just outside, just 0.2 outside that Paralympic qualifying mark. But again, those qualifying marks for Paralympics are, I guess, yardsticks, guidelines, and the selectors will make the final call on whether they feel the swimmers are in the form they need to be selected. And that concludes event 108, the women's 100 metres butterfly. And we will just check on the results here of, there they are, and we'll be back after the break for event 11, the men's 200 metres freestyle heats.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Well, welcome back to, this is session 3 of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships, the Olympic trials for Paris, and now we move to one of the hotly anticipated events, the men's 200 metres freestyle. There are 3 heats, and awaiting and ready is heat number 1.
Lane 2, Ariel Machurahondo Swim Rotorua. Lane 3, Joel Crampton, Capital Swim Club. Lane 4, Matthew Hutchings, Wharanui Swim Club. Lane 5, Sam Brown, Coast Swim Club. Lane 6, Henry Williams, North Shore Swimming. Lane 7, Callum Lockhart, Viking Swim Club.
So, Steve, it'll be interesting here. We've got Matt Hutchins, the 29-year-old, we'll call him a veteran, from Wharanui, a 2016 Rio Olympian and former New Zealand record holder over various distances in the freestyle middle to long distance events. And he's looking really smooth here, just lumbering on that right arm, just getting a nice little glide at the front of his stroke. And he turns in a 53.58. How do you think he's tracking so far?
Yeah, that's a nice solid first 100 for Matthew. He'll be, as you can see, when he's tucking that breath in nice, and it just fits into his stroke, Scotty. So just looks like an easy glide position. Doesn't look like he's really lifting it up here, whether he's just holding a little bit back to this morning, ready for the final tonight.
Yeah, kind of a similar stroke, I hope they don't mind me saying, to Cam Gray, like that loping freestyle. And serving him well. 29.69, 123.
Yeah, to me it looks like he's backed off a little bit on that third 50, so playing the game this morning, Matthew. So it looks like he's just really building into this last 25, and he'll just be looking to put down that solid time, be in that final tonight.
He's been coaching for Wharanui as well as swimming, so juggling a few different things and possibly a little bit of a career. And a 152.85 heat swim for Matt Hutchins. And doesn't look like he's too spent at the end of that, so possibly a bit more gas in the tank for if he were to make the final.
Yeah, he didn't look too worried at the end there, Scotty, so he looks like he's prepping himself ready for a big one tonight.
I'd say so. And that's heat 1. Next up is heat number 2.
Lane 2, Luke O'Connor, Pukekohe Swim Club. Lane 3, Joshua Ames, Capital Swim Club. Lane 4, Zach Reed, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 5, Brendan Visser, Coast Swim Club. Lane 6, Ollie Lutton, Jazzy Swim Club. Lane 7, Roloff Stotzer, Netherlands. Brendan Visser takes out that first 50 of this 200, 26.14. Zach Reed in second place. He'll be looking to maybe pick it up into that second 100. Strong start here by Brendan in lane number 5. Brendan Visser through that first 100, 54.39. Good to see him backing up after that 800 free last night. It looks like Zach's trying to really ramp it up on this third 50.
Zach Reed, an entry time of 1:48.55, the 24-year-old. He's known for a very strong back end. You wonder whether he's just playing the game this morning, getting himself in the middle lanes-ish for tonight's final, and you can see Zach Reed just starting to put the foot down now to take out this heat number 2. And you're going to see just rising a bit higher in the water, that stroke rate increasing, a bit more kick coming in just to push himself into front by half a body length. And Zach Reed cruising through for a 1:51.14, and that'll put him in the number 1 seed position at the moment with 1 heat to go.
Yeah, that was about targeting that second 100 this morning for Zach. Obviously, as he went out in that first 100, nice and easy, just stayed on Brendan's hip there, and then ready to practice that second 100. Lane 2, Jack Potier, Co-Swim Club. Lane 4, Lewis Clearbert, Club 37. Lane 5, Carter Swift, Club 37. Lane 6, Samuel Poching, North Shore Swimming Club. Lane 7, Dominic Faulkner, Mount Maunganui Swim Club.
Matthew Stanley owns the New Zealand record for this event, 1:47.09, set back in 2014. And this event has been one close to everyone's hearts, with Danyan Loader winning that Olympic gold in 1996. And at the moment it is the battle of the middle distance swimmer / sprinter Lewis Clearbert and Carter Swift, who swam that 48.6 to lead off the relay last night in that New Zealand record-breaking team. And Carter Swift, Steve, will be just wanting to bide his time in this 200 and just ensure he's got enough gas to go that last 50, but I'm sure he'll be just going through the motions this morning, as will Lewis Clearbert.
Yeah, it looks like Clearbert's really trying to figure out his pacing, ready for tonight. Still reckon he's got a little bit more, but some really solid 27 through those 2 middle 50s. And as we would expect on this last 50, still just bringing it home. This will be still leading towards his 400 IM practice, Scotty, of holding his stroke together. So really good practice leading into Paris for Lewis here.
And just look at that speed into the wall there. That's the difference. It just tears away in the final 50. 1:48.14, very, very solid heat swim. And just under a second outside of that New Zealand record. The Olympic qualifying time very quick at 1:46.26, which we'd have to see something absolutely spectacular to see anyone get near that. And that concludes the 3 heats of the men's 200 metres freestyle.
Be good to see who's in that final and what lanes are in tonight, Scotty. That'll be a great race.
We move now to event 109, the 200 freestyle men's multi-classification. There is 1 heat.
Lane 1, Joseph Blake, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 2, Tate Pichon, Club 37. Lane 3, Finn Russ, Selwyn Swim Club. Lane 4, Jack Bugler, Blenheim Swim Club. Lane 5, David Beck, Club 37. Lane 6, Joel Watkins, Pukekohe Swim Club. Lane 7, Guy Harrison, Heratonga Sun Devils.
So a good mix of classifications across this event. Swimming in his hometown, lane 7, Guy Harrison, a 22-year-old from Heratonga Sun Devils.
Good battle going on here in the middle between Finn and Jack. They'll be looking to push each other through this next 100 metres. Different classifications, Scott, but it's always great to see these guys using each other to help each other get faster.
Jack Bugler, who swum that 1,500 metres, 800 I should say. So he's already got one swim under his belt.
He's breaking away in this third 50.
Great to see the work of Simon Main, Cam Leslie in getting this S15 to S19 classifications together into one race along with the Paris swimmers. And so many more opportunities for those classes 15 to 19 now with the Virtus Games, with many of them in 23 heading off to the Virtus Games internationally. And just what a highlight for some of these swimmers, multi-classification swimmers, to be able to have that experience.
Really strong second 100 here by Jack Bugler as we come into the wall. 2:09.52, that's faster than his seed time by 0.4, so a little PB there for Jack. That's some really good swimming.
And Finn Russ has done a good swim over there. Finn at 2:16, 2.5 seconds under his best. Tate Pichon, after that almost 30-second PB in the 800 freestyle, has gone 2 seconds under his entry time as well. And I do hope we get a chance to chat to Finn at some stage. He's always got some great news to share with everyone, and he trains out of the Selwyn Swim Club now. And that concludes. We've got, Joseph Blake, who I had a fantastic chat to, actually, the other day. Lovely chap. He trains under Matt Wolf in Hamilton. And Joseph Blake coming in to touch. He hasn't quite hit the touch pad. His goggles have come off.
Swum the whole 200 with his goggles in his mouth, Scotty. What a strong thing to do. I'd probably stop if it was me. So good on Joseph, swimming right through. He'll get that better for tonight in the final.
Yep, for sure. And just looking at the result there has been a disqualification, unfortunately, of Joseph Blake in lane 1. So there is the official result. We move now to event 12, the men's 100-metre breaststroke heats. There are 2 heats and ready to go. A heat number 1.
Lane 2, Caleb Ludlow, Alexandra Swimming Club. Lane 3, Harrison Cook, North Shore Swimming. Lane 4, Blair Helms, North Shore Swimming. Lane 5, Eli Litton, Club 37. Lane 6, Max Gardner, Whanganui Swim Club.
Some pretty quick entry time here from Blair Helms, 102.62. The Olympic qualifying standard is underneath the New Zealand record held by Glenn Snyders.
Strong first 50 there by Eli Litton, 29.68. He's taken this out strong. He wants to put himself into that final in a good lane tonight, Scotty.
And Eli Litton, 104.11, but currently, if he can hold on to this early pace, he's going to land pretty well at the on the wall. Eli Litton
back at him now, Scotty, with that 400 AM 200 pedigree. Eli trying to hold on.
What a finish there by Blair Helms, just sneaks in. 104.90, that just happened in the final 5 metres there. There's an example of someone finishing strong to take the win, in this case heat 1. A very, very taxing stroke, breaststroke, using predominantly the legs to drive the speed. And we'll look at the official results. And we're now underway with heat number 2 of the men's 100 metres breaststroke.
Lane 3, Caleb Carlisle, Napier Aquahawks. Lane 4, Josh Gilbert, Club 37. Lane 5, Wilrick Kusia, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 6, Alicio Aymar, Club 37.
Well, this could be the first opportunity for Josh Gilbert to push it hard over the 100. 1 minute .98 in the program, and that Olympic qualifying mark 59.49. A 28.70, nice and quick down the first 50 for Gilbert. He's got the whole Club 37 team behind him here. Been a part of some good 4x100 metre medley relays as well, being the fastest breaststroker in the country at the moment. Josh Gilbert coming down in the final 10 metres. .101.72 to finish, and the fastest qualifier for the final this evening. And Wilrick Kutsia touching the wall second, just over his entry time. And there's the official result of the 4 swimmers in that heat, including our visitor. Next up, we move to event 13, the women's 100 metre breaststroke. There are 2 heats, and this is heat number 1.
Lane 2, Mila Jitwinowski, Stratford Flyers. Lane 3, Meg McLaughlin, Kiwi. Lane 4, Zalika Pratt-Smith, Co-Swim Club. Lane 5, Melissa Cowan, North Shore Swimming. Lane 6, Jada Hancock, Stratford Flyers.
And a former New Zealand record holder, Melissa Cowan, in lane 5 from North Shore, hoping to recapture some of that form. Zalika Pratt-Smith, who did a clean sweep of the breaststroke 100 and 200 at the New Zealand short course last year, and obviously won the 400 metres individual medley.
Good to see Melissa back in New Zealand after some stint in the States there, so good to see her back racing. Her and Zalika battling it out here in this last 25.
A 1:11.7 to win heat number 1. And none of those times faster than their entry times, so hoping to see some improved performances this evening from those swimmers. A total of 11 swimmers across the 2 heats, so needing to get top 8, of course, for the final. Moving now to the second and final heat of the women's 100 metre breaststroke.
Lane 2, Katie Wisnowski, Hiratonga Sun Devils. Lane 3, Helena Hattenmeyer, Co-Swim Club. Lane 4, Monique Wierzowski, North Shore Swimming. Lane 5, Brianna Crawford, Waitakere Swimming. Lane 6, Paige Franklin, Central Hawke's Bay Swimming. Lane 7, Sienna Morrison, Ko-Fi Swimming Club.
New Zealand record holder Monique Wierzowski in lane 4. You can just see the rating, the increased rating she takes down that first 50 compared to the 200 specialist Brianna Crawford, who has come back from the States for this event this week. 31.16 down the first 50. Can she go faster than her New Zealand record this morning of 1:07.67? That Olympic qualifying standard, 1:06.79. She'd have to go 0.9 quicker again. Well out in front.
Looks like she just gave a little lift there in that last 15 metres, Scotty. She's really pushing for that time this morning.
1:07.82, just outside her own New Zealand record. Brianna Crawford has swum a 1:10.65. She'll be in lane 5 for the final this evening. But a solid heat swim this morning, and Sienna Morrison, the only one of the swimmers to go underneath her entry time, the 14-year-old from Ko-Fi Swimming Club. Well done. But Steve, it's about managing that final 15 metres in the breaststroke, isn't it? It's when it starts to really hurt, the muscles start to burn, and it's trying to keep it together.
Yeah, I think that's that key part is making sure they really hold their form. Don't rush it too much, Scotty, because then you're going to lose some of that little extra power at the end of their kick. So you've got to trust the glide position a little bit as well. So a really mixed balance of how breaststroke works.
That's right. We'll be back after this break for event 110, the 200 metre freestyle for women multi-classification. Welcome back to Day 2, Session 3 of the Apollo Project's Aotearoa New Zealand Swimming Championships. We move to event 110, the 200 freestyle for women multi-classification. There is just one heat.
Lane 2, Melissa Donahue, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 3, Ella Ben, Selwyn Swim Club. Lane 4, Quinn Pike, Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 5, Chloe Gladwin, Whakatane Swimming Club. Lane 6, Mackenzie Drag, Aquatic Swim Club. Strong start there by Quinn Pike in that first 50, the 14-year-old from Hamilton. She's obviously wanting to try and go for her best time this morning. Looking to get in that middle lane again tonight. Quinn and Chloe in the same category, S19. Both through in 109s, only 0.06 of a difference for these two young ladies. We see who's done their race plan right. Have they followed their coach's process of when to attack, how to hold their stroke together, Scott?
Yeah, quite a interesting event, the 200 freestyle. Some call it a long sprint, and it really obviously falls between that 100, the speed of the 100 and the distance of the 400. But again, like any race, it's about splitting it up into pieces, and generally it's the 450s you have to do. And many coaches will talk about the negative splitting, which for those that may not understand what that is, it is about trying to do the second 100 at the same pace and speed as the first 100, which means the intensity, the energy levels need to lift every 50 as you fatigue. And this is a nice swim here from Chloe Gladwin, who is obviously in fantastic form this week with 2 titles already.
The NZ record held by Chloe is 2:26.84, so both these girls could be going for that New Zealand record here.
New Zealand 16 and under age group record for Chloe Gladwin there. Congratulations, 2:24.85. And obviously the preparation Gladwin has had leading up has worked really well. And we move to look at Mackenzie Drage over there. She's in lane 6, and Melissa Donahue in lane 2.
Looking forward to that battle between Quinn and Chloe tonight, both in that same category. Both went under the old New Zealand record there, Scott, so that'll be a really good race. Well done, ladies.
Melissa Donahue represented New Zealand at the Virtus Global Games last year. She was a finalist at the event, and her sister is actually an Olympic rower as well, so comes from a pedigree of top athletes. And been told by Cam Leslie, currently managing a few injuries as well, Melissa Donahue, but hopefully that doesn't hinder her performances this week. Best time here for Melissa of 3:29.58, so she's a little bit over that today. But that concludes the heat for the women's 200 freestyle multi-classification. So fantastic age group record-breaking performance by Chloe Gladwin. We move now to event 14, the final event on this morning's heats program. There are 3 heats. It is the women's 200 metres freestyle.
Lane 2, Zoe Crawford, Coast Swimming Club. Lane 3, Molly Shivnan, Mount Maunganui Swim Club. Lane 4, Caitlin Deans, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 5, Chelsea Edwards, North Shore Swimming. Lane 6, Talitha McEwen, Mount Maunganui. Lane 7, Amelie Austin, St. Paul Swimming.
A little bit of movement in the clubs with Chelsea Edwards now swimming for North Shore, 2:02.53, the 22-year-old. Hoping to recapture some form this week, especially over the 200 metres freestyle, 2:02.53 in the program.
This is a really stacked heat of New Zealand athletes. Not only do we have Caitlin and Chelsea who have represented New Zealand in the open level of swimming, but we've also got Talitha, Molly and Zoe who are members of the New Zealand Surf Lifesaving Open team as well. So really good to see our pedigree of female freestylers in New Zealand and all pushing each other for a good final tonight.
Inspired by our silver medalist from the World Championship, Erica Fairweather, who will be in Heat 3, has really brought the times down in this event. I remember it wasn't so long ago that there was no women under 2 minutes. The New Zealand record was set at 2 minutes by Rebecca Perrott, which was in place for years, for maybe 2 decades.
Good to see these girls pushing each other this morning. 30.93 on that 50 there for Caitlin, 130.16 at the 150. Be trying to bring it home maybe around that 30-second mark, just to be around that 2-minute barrier.
Caitlin Deans now starting to bring it through in the final 50. Chelsea Edwards trying to hang on. 100-metre freestyler is her specialty event. And a 2:91, just outside, half a second outside her best. Chelsea Edwards brings her PB down. And it was Molly Shivnan, third to the wall.
Strong performance here by Caitlin in that one, Scotty. She's pushing herself to give herself that opportunity to be in that top 3 tonight for that relay position.
Looking at that confirmed result there, Deans, Edwards, Shivnan, top 3. We move now to Heat 2 of the women's 200 freestyle.
Lane 1, Sarah Kate Burkett, Hiratonga Sun Devils. Lane 2, Brooke Miles, Ngātai Tuatia Atararika Swimming. Lane 3, Eva Allen, Club 37. Lane 4, Letitia Lee Transom, Club 37. Lane 5, Nikki Vinema, Hiratonga Sun Devils. Lane 6, Jessie Welsh, Club 37. Lane 7, Sophie Hay, Hamilton Aquatics.
Well, Steve, based off the form of that lead 100 freestyle in the relay, Letitia with a 54.4, where we were talking about perhaps the fastest 100 freestyle we've seen since the New Zealand record was set. So she is got some real speed and looking very comfortable and in control over this first 100.
Yeah, that was a great performance last night. I think that's maybe the fastest without a super suit as well, Scotty. So it looks like she's in top form. Already done that 100 backstroke as well this morning. So it'll be interesting to see how she's playing this one out, through in a 58.90 in that first 100 metres.
Olympic qualifying standard 1:57.26, and I do feel off that performance that Letitia has a shot at getting somewhere close to that. Her best time of 1:59, she'd have to drop that by a good couple of seconds. And you can see that pace just dropping off there, just starting to ease back a little bit perhaps. Letitia Lee Transom with a 32-second 50. And Nikki Venema
good to see someone from the Heratonga level come through, push it for the local club here in the Hawke's Bay.
It was a good finish here for Nikki. 2:02.66. And finishing second, 2:04.49. And perhaps some would say a little bit of a gamble, but we'll see how Heat 3 plays out shortly. And next up, the final heat of this event and the session. Heat 3.
Lane 1, Maddie Horton, Jazzy Swim Club. Lane 2, Zoe Pedersen, Coast Swim Club. Lane 3, Ruby Heath, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 4, Erica Fairweather, Neptune Swim Club. Lane 5, Summer Osborne, North Shore Swimming. Lane 6, Milana Tapper, St. Peter's Swimming. Lane 7, Amelia Finer, Neptune Swim Club.
Well, Erica Fairweather won the silver at the 2024 World Championships in the 200 freestyle in Doha. And she was ranked 7th in the world at the end of 2023, and she has swum inside the Olympic qualifying standard 14 times since the qualifying period began in March 23. She has qualified or hit the qualifying standard for Paris already. Pressure off Erica Fairweather, but already over the first 100 you can see the class of this swimmer. Already 2 body lengths clear of Summer Osborne, her teammate from Doha, in the relay.
Through in a 56.46. That's a really strong first 100 for Erica. Looks like she's really pushing it this morning, which is great to see for our viewers here at the pool and at home.
Just a stunning watching Erica Fairweather, just that beautiful high body position. And quite a high rating for a 200 freestyler.
This is what we need to see in New Zealand, more of being a little bit more aggressive in these heats. This is how we practice to race at international level, Scott. So it's good to see Erica pushing it this morning.
And speaking to Lars Huma, her coach, just saying that there's been a little bit of a taper here coming in, but not a lot. Obviously, she didn't have to peak at this event. She wants to, obviously, her goal is Paris. But let's looks where she lands. Look at the gulf between first and second there. What a swim for Erica Fairweather, 1:55. This is, ladies and gentlemen, just over 1/100th over the current New Zealand record. 1/100th of a second over the New Zealand record over this event. You couldn't be more pleased with that, really.
That was a really strong just race all put together there. Obviously she was having a crack at that time this morning, Scotty, which is great to see. So she'll be wanting to push at another level tonight. So Really strong performance.
It's exciting seeing Erica swim every single time. I mean, we see something different, something new, and generally faster than she swum before. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the field, we didn't really have a chance to look at that. Summer Osborne second, 2:03.24. Milana Tapper coming up for a third to the wall there. Good swim for her. So that concludes the racing this morning. Please put your hands together for our technical officials as they make their way from pool deck. Thank you very much. And we'll be back after the short break to do a little bit of a wrap of this morning's heat session.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
There's a wrap, just a wrap of this morning's heat session. A lot busier than yesterday's, with a few more events there, Steve. We started with that 100-metre backstroke, most of them going through the motions this morning just to get into that final, with a couple of interesting performances by Finn Harlan, just a fraction off that New Zealand age group record, and Jasper Cornish hitting that junior Pan Pacific time in the backstroke.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see Finn right there with Jeff Coate as well. So not only we've got our top guys at a great level, but the guys coming up underneath hitting those targets, which is really great to see.
Fastest qualifier in the 100-metre backstroke, that was Helena Gasson. She was just over the minute. Of course, she's got to go just under the minute for the qualifying standard, but looking good this morning.
Yeah, and she'll be hunting that NZR of a minute .22 tonight as well, Scott.
50 metres butterfly, we had the men go through with Cam Gray, just 0.3 of a second off his lifetime best, and in the women's, Hazel Owlhand, that was the highlight of the morning. The New Zealand record, first time ever under 26 for a woman. Incredible.
Yeah, that was a really strong performance, 25.88. Not only did she just snip under that time, 0.2 of a second under, and then great to see Zoe Pedersen with a New Zealand age group record for the 16-year-olds in the same race. So that'll be exciting to see if they can improve on those times tonight.
200 freestyle, too many names to mention, but we've got Lewis Clebbert. He did a solid 148 low. He's certainly looking to be the favourite perhaps in that, and Zach Reed will be right there trying to get that title as well.
Well, I think in that 200 free we're going to see some exciting stuff from Lewis there. He's got no pressure on that race, so I'm sure he's going to give it a crack.
And then probably be finishing up with that 200 free. So we've just seen from the women there, just 1/100 of a second on top of that New Zealand record. I think we're going to see something special tonight, and also that battle on for the top three in this event for the 4x200 at Paris.
Yeah, it's all about how they recover now after these heats and set themselves up ready for another blistering night of finals here in the Hawke's Bay.
Well, I can't wait for tonight. I'm sure you can't either. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you this evening for session 4.